What's up, everybody? Eat my food real quick, so waiting for it to cool down. So I figured I'd talk to y'all about 9/11 real quick. Yo, it's been on my mind a lot since 7 days ago, 20th anniversary of that day. A lot of people kind of, in my opinion, feel lost about what to do and how to go about their day on that day, how to, I guess, celebrate that day. Because prior to 2001, that day was just another day for anybody in the world, and especially people in America. It was just another day. And it changed with these hijackers jacking these airplanes, flying them into various buildings, crashing them. Crashing them before they could crashing them into the ground before they could fly them into the other buildings. And I think that made a lot of people just sad. It made a lot of people sad, but it was an attack on us as a people and as a nation, which is something I still don't think most people bring to the front of their mind, to the forefront of their thoughts, which is extremely important because regardless of any type of segregation that goes on within this country, no matter what, you gotta say that you're an American. There's really just no way around that. So, America's one of those very few countries where the people here, based on just the physical appearance, we don't look alike. We don't look alike, not physical appearance. You got people that be white, black, brown, red, like the dirt in Alabama, you feel me, yellow, like the Asians in China, you feel me, black, like charcoal, like the people in Africa, some of the people in Africa. We got a lot of different people here. But one thing that always brings us together is our flag. 50 stars, 13 stripes. So that day to me was just a reminder of the fact that I'm an American first, yo. Before people try to paint me as anything else, being black or anything people want to paint me as, I'm an American first, yo. I go anywhere else on this planet, I go to France, they're not going to identify me as being black first. They're not. They're going to identify me as being American. Black people only exist in America, yo. This is the only country where black people exist. Believe it or not, I don't care what nobody tell you. This is the only country where black people exist. So if I go anywhere, they're going to identify me first as an American. They're not going to care about my skin color. They're going to think about that second. They're going to judge me off what type of person I am on this planet. What type of human being I am. I'm American. So, as this day done passed, a little more than 20 years ago, I guess I really just want to remind people to be happy, yo. To celebrate life and to celebrate liberty, yo. Because that's what our country was founded on, yo. It was founded on life. Move life abundantly, us trying to find Christ, following Christ. That's what the people who built this country, that's what they came over here for. So they can continue to follow Christ the way that they thought that they should be doing it. So, a lot of people, as you continue to go about in this world, you're going to hate you just off of that. Yo, keep that in your mind. You go to places, people won't judge you off the color of your skin, you know, the way you look or nothing like that, the way you dress, unless they're doing it saying that you just like an American. These people wanted to get rid of us, yo. As a people, as a whole, our country, they wanted to get rid of us, yo. A lot of people think we was wrong for going and starting a war in Iraq and Afghanistan, but if we took no action, yo, there would have been 20 September 11th since 2001. Every year they'd have been doing the same shit because they would have knew that they could. They could just, somebody gonna hide them. They just gonna go, we gonna go back to our country. That's what people fail to forget and fail to realize, yo. It wasn't an attack on a specific person. I know shit like that. It was an attack on all of us, yo. On all of us. That could have been anybody, mom, dad, sister, brother, uncle, cousin, great grandma, you feel me, whoever. In the trade centers that day, in the Pentagon, you feel me, on that fight that crashed in Pennsylvania. It could have been anybody, yo. It could have been anybody. Pretty much everybody get on the airplane, yo. If not, you got the option to. You might not do it, but you have the option to. You got the ability to do it if you want to do it. So that could have really been anybody, and that's what people need to remember and realize about that day, yo. Is that it was an attack on all of us, yo. It really could have been you. Forget it could have been your kid or your mom or your dad. It could have been you. It could have been you in that building when the planes hit them, yo. It could have been you having to make a decision. Are you going to try to run through these flames and try to get to the stairs or get to the elevator? Are you going to be able to remember what the stairs and the elevator are? Or is it just safer and smarter for you to just try to take your chances and put your life in God's hand and jump out the window, break a glass and jump out the window? So, you know, that's why we should never forget these people, yo. We should never forget that day. We should never forget these people because that is an attack on what America stands for. That's what people forget. That they don't think about it. They don't realize it. That was an attack on what we stand for, yo. Like, you can argue all day about Black Lives Matter, George Floyd, and fucking all this other racist ass fucking bullshit. I don't give a fuck. But at the end of the day, we all Americans. We all citizens. We all in this country. We all chose to be here for a reason, which I already explained. We wanted to be able to come and express our beliefs in Christ and God and our God in the way that we saw fit as a people, as a whole, as a nation, as an individual, not based off of one individual's thoughts and beliefs, some king or some queen or some patriarch, monarch, matriarch, prince, princess, Khazar. You feel me? None of that. This country is founded upon faith, yo. It's founded upon faith. So, you know, if you believe in what you believe in, because in God we trust is on our money. So if you believe in what you believe in, yo, you must understand that these people were attacking you. They were attacking you and what you believe in, yo. That's why 9/11 is so important, and it's so important for us to remember and not remember it as just another day, even though it was another day prior to, you know, what these terrorists did. Osama bin Laden, Al-Qaeda, and any of these other people that are in these governments and in positions of power and stuff like that. That was an attack on us, just us and what we believe in, yo. For what you believe in. That's all it was, yo, because of who you are, what you are. That's why it's important, and I'm really trying to stress this, that it could have been anybody, yo. That day it could have been anybody. I was in middle school at that time, yo. You know what happened? Everybody left school early. Everybody left school early. When I got out of school that day, I left maybe like 45 minutes before the end of the day. By the time I left, my mom was right down the street, so she wasn't worried about it. But by the time I left, because nobody knew what to do. They didn't know whether they should just go forth and it just be another day. Do we continue working, or are they going? Is more of this going to happen? Is it going to keep happening? Is it just us? Is this going to start happening in different countries around the world? Nobody knew what was going on really. Nobody knew what was going on. But by the time that I left school that day, about 45 minutes before the last bell rang for everybody to actually be out of class, it wasn't nothing but me and maybe I think one other student in the school, The rest was all the faculty who was still there. Everybody else had left because their kids got pulled out of school. Everybody started getting off of work and they was going to picking up their kids from school because people was like, we don't know what's going to happen. They did this to the World Trade Centers. These shit used to be the tallest buildings in the world when they was built. It used to be the tallest buildings in the whole entire world, when they were built. So people didn't know, man, are they going to start blowing up schools and libraries and public bus stops? Like, what's going on? Nobody knew. Nobody knew. So, that was how my day pretty much subsided on 9/11, 2001. But we tried to get people to realize, which is why I don't think we were wrong in starting a war with Iraq and Afghanistan. And honestly, some other countries is lucky we didn't start wars with them, like Saudi Arabia for one. They were lucky that we didn't start a war with them, Our people, our allies, when we actually went to war with Iraq and Afghanistan, like England or Great Britain or whatever, and France and all these other different countries, Australia and shit like that helped us in this war on terrorism. People just want you to be scared for who you are. Everybody thought this whole terrorism shit was just like some illusion, some fucking plot, some conspiracy theory. I was playing Call of Duty the other day. This dude told me 9/11 was a conspiracy. It was an inside job. Man, I wanted to go through the screen and slap the shit out of this nigga, bro. That shit happened 20 years ago, bro. You telling me it's all an illusion? Like this fucking filter that I got on my camera right now on the live video? That's all. It's just fake. It's not real. That's not real. It's not happening right now. This is a live video. This is a live video right now. Time 9:33, September 18, 2021. Now, you telling me that was all fake? It was just fake. None of that shit really happened. Like people so disillusioned, so people so out of touch with reality. They don't even know. People don't know what's real no more. The shit that go on in movies, how they want motherfuckers to be. Excuse my language. How they want people to be living like. I give you an example. The movie WALL-E, where it's the robot that clean everything, and the planet is dying that the humans lived on, and the humans so stupid they don't even realize that whoever's really controlling everything is basically just making them slaves. They making them be addicted to taking life the easy way. And I use that as an example because things like this are going on right now. For instance, not saying that it's bad or it's good, but it's happening right now. Being able to get food delivered. It's one thing when you go and eat out. That's supposed to be like a specialty. This is like a special occasion. In America, that's like if you work so hard for however long, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 6 months, 8 months. Now it's time for you to go celebrate. That's what we really equate that to. That's what its original creation was. So, people doing that more and more now. We're enjoying our freedoms more and more now. And now you ain't even got to go out. You can just get the food delivered. And so these people in the movie WALL-E, they were just on like a bed, reclined, and they had a remote control in their hand, and they was on a spaceship. They was living out of space because Earth was dead. Earth had died. They didn't know how to live on the surface of the Earth no more. They didn't know anything about their home at all. It's like us being alive, and then you go to sleep and you dream and you come back and you wake up again and you gotta figure out what's real again, all over again. You gotta get out of your bed and stand up again and walk and keep walking in the same steps you did the day before and all the days before that. And keep infinity in mind at the same time. So in the movie, the people were living in outer space on a space station, a large space station, and you just ride around in the space station, reclined all day with a remote control in your hand. You can order anything you want. Everybody went to the movies, and when they go to the movies, they don't even get out of there. You basically in a bed. They don't even get out of their bed. They just drive the bed to the movie theater and watch the movie, lay in the bed, and laugh while they watch the movie, and drink and smoke and do all this stuff. Well, probably not smoking because it was a kids movie, but all this different stuff, and just be completely lazy about it, That's the grip. That's the reality, yo. That's the stuff that people claim is a conspiracy theory, but it's not a conspiracy theory. It's reality. It's happening right now. At this specific moment in time, it's going down right now. So keep your freedom in mind, yo. Don't ever forget why we started this country, why we came here. You can believe whatever you want to believe. I don't really care. That's your God-given right. That's the right that our country gives you, your fellow man, your fellow American. That's the liberty that we give you to think and believe whatever you want. It don't make it true, but that's what we give you. So that's why it's important to remember that day, because it was an attack on, if you are someone who is God-fearing, you're Christ-like, you're Christian, you believe in Christ, you believe in true light and true love, you believe in heaven, you want to return to where you believe you're from, you have to take that day into account, because of the fact that these terrorists chose to attack us and strike on a day with so much symbolism in it, because 9/11, we all know we do use 911 in America, that's the emergency line, and it's like they were trying to take that away from us. But see, if you think a little more metaphorically about it, and you consider what I'm telling you about, what this country was founded on, what your beliefs are, you'll see how they're trying to disconnect you from what you believe in. And that's why that day is so important. And that's why we were not wrong in going to war with Iraq and Afghanistan, and why other countries such as Saudi Arabia should be very, 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 very extremely lucky that we didn't go to war and start a war with them and come wipe their whole shit out too. And it upset me personally. Well, we had these other countries like the Great Britons, the France. Australia was really like the first country that really stood up to kind of help us out in the whole situation. But Great Britain, France, our allies, yo, the Finlands, the Norways and shit like that. All these people we helped out during World War II and World War I that could have been, they probably wouldn't even exist to this day if it wasn't for us. Hate to say it, but they probably wouldn't exist to this day if it weren't for us. That chose to kind of just, how we were that when that day happened in America, that day, if you remember, if you were born and you were alive then, in 2001, September 11th, everybody how I just described it, nobody knew what was going on. People leaving work, leaving school, don't even know if they want to be at home. Is it safe to even be at home? Like, like that fear that they just tried to make us feel as an American people, as a whole, as a nation, that they tried to make us feel. If you weren't really around and didn't understand that, then the next part, what I'm going to say, may not make no sense to you. And that's probably why other countries, they were not so quick to jump on our bandwagon of going to war and shit like that. Because I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I'm not a president, I've never been a president or nothing like that. But I'm pretty sure when our president at the time, George W. Bush, I'm pretty sure he tried to talk to different countries around the world, especially once we figured out that what had happened, that they were hijackers and they were, of Middle Eastern descent, and, we kind of traced where countries they came from. I'm pretty sure he tried to talk it out with them, like, hey, like, what's going on? Do y'all have anything to do with this? Can y'all help us out and tell us who has something to do with this? And I'm pretty sure when he got to that first part, did y'all have anything to do with this? They probably were, got offended and basically probably hung up the phone on him. And that's when he got to be the president and look back at what happened and still be a leader. And we're going to do something about this, yo. So if y'all don't want to help us, you just like these people. And we find out that they come from y'all country, fuck y'all too, nigga. We're going to declare war on y'all country. First, we just looking for a group or organization, a couple people. But shit, if y'all going to motherfucking hide these motherfuckers, it's fuck y'all. And so I think it took a little while. This is my personal opinion. I don't, like I said, I've never been a president. I don't know the details. I never worked in the CIA and intelligence community and none of that shit. I have worked for the Homeland Defense, the Department of Homeland Security, so I know a little bit. But I'm pretty sure that when all of these things occurred, the countries like Great Britain and these other countries that I named prior were kind of like how we were on that day. They were kind of confused as to what to do, and they didn't really know what kind of action to take. But once we did the things that I just described, and we just decided that we finna just come over there and kick some ass, cause y'all got us fucked up. We finna come kick y'all ass, and y'all got us fucked up. This is a public address. We finna come over there and kick y'all ass. Y'all got us fucked up. Then I think these other countries, the Great Britons and stuff like that, they started to realize what we were trying to say to them in the beginning, which is another point I'm making, that I believe that we were trying to tell them, yo, this shit happened to us, but it can happen to y'all too. Y'all think it's all a fucking joke. They probably still trying to laugh and sip their tea and shit like that, like ha ha ha. Like, it's not funny, bro. That shit really happened. Like, mad people, just innocent people, just died for nothing, just for being alive. They died for being alive, bro. That's Hitler type shit in our age, in our day and time. So, you know, y'all really want to go to war? So, it's important to remember that day. Extremely important to remember that day. What happened? Remember the people. That's why we read their names out loud every year on that day, because we never gonna forget them. You can't wake up and then just die for being alive. Like, that's some very evil and sadistic type of shit. That's some very evil and sadistic shit, yo. And if you were alive on that day, you remember the 10 years after that. The 10, 15 years after that. All these other countries that I just mentioned, the Great Britons, the France, and all this shit, terrorism went sky high in their country. Niggas blowing up trains. They blowing up everything. It wasn't on the scale of 9/11, but people was suicide bombing. You never heard about none of that shit except in fucking the Middle East, Iraq and Afghanistan and shit like that, and all these other Pakistan and shit. You feel me? Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Qatar, all these different places. You never heard about that shit in fucking France and Great Britain and stuff. They shit went sky high just because of that little lapse that they gave us and being on our side about the whole situation and helping us out, being our allies. In America, none of that shit happened. We tightened down security. You got to do certain shit to get on the plane. Nah, I ain't even gonna talk about none of that shit. You got to do all type of certain shit now. We increased security so much in airports because of that. Americans got on more high alert. More people bought guns and shit like that. These niggas want to talk about a race war. People buying guns because of terrorism. You pull some shit out in public, bitch, we gonna kill your dumb ass. That's the worst shit to us, is domestic terrorism right now. People walking into public places disgruntled and shooting shit up, going postal. Everybody think that shit's a game, some shit from the 90s. My people used to say some phrase, and everybody, nah, they think it's all a fucking joke. Are you going to hell, bro? You going to hell. I'm going too, but I'm gonna be laughing at your dumb ass. I'm not gonna be laughing with you, I'm gonna be laughing at your dumb ass. So it's important to remember 9/11 just for the simple fact of what that day represents to America and Americans. Because at the end of the day, no matter if you like what I'm saying, I don't give a fuck. I'll fight anybody. I don't care. I don't really care. I shoot anybody. I kill anybody. I don't really give. I don't care. I don't care. I signed a contract to join the military. So that if they ever need me to do shit like that, I'll do it. So I should let you know. I don't really give a fuck. I don't care. I'm about whatever, really. And I ain't afraid to show my horns. It's a halo above me. I ain't afraid. But it's important to remember that day because in all reality, in all truth, in all honesty, it could have been you. It could have been you. It could have been you. It could have been anybody. You could try to say that it could have never been you. I don't even live in New York. All that shit didn't happen in New York. That shit happened in Washington, D.C. You never know. You could have had a job at the Pentagon. You could have chosen to live a military lifestyle. You could have had a job at the Pentagon. You could have been in the Pentagon that day and just a plane just randomly hit the building and you died. You could have randomly chose to take a trip to New York. I want to see the World Trade Center. I want to see Statue of Liberty. You could have been on the plane that day and died. Anybody. Because you live in this country. That's why it could have been anybody. Not because of nothing else, but because you live in this country. So, y'all stay blessed. Always put God first and God we trust. And, wait, this is not. Because it could have been you.